Hey, internet friend, it's me, Bradley G, here at Synergy Cafe, and I've got a new guest on. Interesting character. He's from southern Minnesota. I'm up here in friendly Fridley, which is just north of Minneapolis, Minnesota. And his name is Quincy Muzik. And I have to ask him, I have to find out if that's his real name, a birth name, or if it's a stage name. Who knows? So if you want to hang on a second, I'll be coming right back and I'll go get Quincy. So stay tight. I'll be right back. Hey, Quincy, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Brad?
I'm wonderful and a half and then some to the 10th power of infinity.
Oh, nice.
Woohoo. So y'all set for the new year now? Or
I am. I can't believe that it is the new year. I mean, it's funny when you're looking through Facebook right now and, you see this post was made on December 30th, 2025. And I'm like, you could have just said yesterday. So I was just like, okay, it is the new year. I guess it's time. So, but it feels good to be in the new year.
It's going to be 2030 pretty soon.
Yeah. Geez. I'm actually turning 25 in a couple of weeks. So that's even kind of hitting me like, holy crap, time is going by fast.
I know, it's called the quickening.
Oh yeah.
It's happening faster. So here's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to talk about you, Quincy Muzik.
Yeah.
I gotta ask, is that your real name?
Yes, it is. My grandma and grandpa were actually both music teachers. My grandpa passed away during COVID. He had some health issues going on, and he was a band director for many years in Austin, Minnesota. He actually has his master's degree in music education. And then my grandmother is a piano teacher. She still teaches, and she does church choir kind of stuff. And she still is doing it all. She plays. She does a little bit of choir.
Their last name is Muzik, or did they change their name to Muzik?
The last name is Muzik. That is my grandpa's last name. It's Muzik. It is Czechoslovakian. So, yeah.
Well, it's kind of nice having a last name that tells you what you're going to do for a living.
It does, but I mean, when you're kind of in a different area like me, they're kind of like, oh, you do music? I'm like, no, I mean, I learned music, but I'm more of my background's different. So it is all right, but it's a way for people to know me. I mean, in my hometown, the amount of people say to me, wait, are you Jan and Conrad? Are you related to Jan and Conrad? I'm like, yeah, those are my grandma and grandpa. Then they say, oh my gosh, we had your grandparents as music teachers. We love them. Or my dad is a drywall contractor. He runs a business called Music's Muddin'. And people be like, wait, are you Danny's son? I'm like, yeah, I'm Danny's son. And they're like, oh my gosh, your dad did my bathroom, redid my garage. It's just kind of that. It's a well-known name. I mean, it's kind of nice. So
let's see, we're going to have to maybe weave the music in, so maybe you can do some underwater harp or something.
I don't know if I'm qualified in that area. I'm not afraid to admit when I'm not qualified, but I'm willing to learn down the line if I have to.
Well, I understand you've got a little bit of a theater background as well.
Yes, I do. I went to school back in Ellis Middle School back here in Austin. And I did a little bit of theater. I really wasn't on stage. I was more behind the scenes. I was doing scene changes, helping tear down sets, learning working with talent hands-on. And I mean, that's kind of where I think it all kind of started for me, because I kind of realized early on, I said, okay, with what I want to do with my career, getting into virtual production and motion capture, I'm not really an artist kind of person. I have my areas of art that I am into, but I'm more of the hands-on tech kind of guy. I like working with talent hands-on. I like working with microphones, with computers. I'm just said, you know what? I should try to focus that. So then as I went through school, I went into high school and I did a lot of backstage stuff. I actually did some stuff for the Austonaires, which is a show choir here in Austin. They do quite a bit of events here in Austin. And then I did some plays, did a lot of backstage stuff. I did Mike's one show. So I was learning all these different areas of theater production, and it really does come around where with what I want to do. And, it just says, I'm a firm believer that no matter where you go or where you work, whatever you learn from that job is going to carry over somehow. So I'm using that with what I do now, and it's great. I mean, and I haven't really done any theater since, I think the last show I did was a couple summers ago, and that was Somerset here in Austin, Minnesota at Riverland Community College. They do Somerset, which is summer theater. I did the audio for them for a couple summers ago. Haven't in a while, but yeah, that's my background was theater. I love working in it. It's fun.
Well, you never know what might happen. Like you said, the path is never like a straight line. So
No, it
who
isn't.
knows, all the stuff leading up to it, you might end up doing some kind of underwater play where you produce it and do all the videography for it.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at James Cameron right now doing the Avatar movies. He did the second one with underwater motion capture, and I was talking with a guy who actually was on the Avatar project. This was a couple of years ago when I met him, and he was telling me about how now where he was, I think it was a motion capture technician, which is basically just hands-on, working with the mocap system, making sure the data is great and everything. And he said, they're like, okay, we need another diver in the tank. Is anyone certified? And then some guy raised him and said, yeah, I'm certified. And I said, all right, get your butt in the tank, get going. And it's just, you never know. I mean, it really is amazing. And that's one area that does interest me is the underwater aspect of mocap. It's kind of niche, but I've been seeing it used for swimming pools, for tracking swimmers' data for physical therapy and that kind of thing. And that would be, not going to lie, being where I could be working for a mocap company like OptiTrack or Vicon, and they say, oh yeah, we got to install this camera setup in this pool. I said, yeah, I'll do it. I don't care. I'm already scuba certified. Let's go.
So we should clarify too that when you said Austin, we got to, Austin, Texas is an artistic town, but you're talking about Austin, Minnesota.
Yes, Austin, Minnesota, Spam Town, USA.
That's
it's where
right,
Hormel food. Yeah, it's where Hormel's based out of. Yep.
Yep, it's good to know that in case someone wants to get a hold of you, they don't go the wrong direction.
Yeah, the amount of people that have said, "Wait, you live in Austin, Texas?" I'm like, "No, I live in Austin, Minnesota." They're like, "Oh, I think I know what that is. That's where Hormel is, right?" I'm like, "Yep, that's where Hormel is." So I mean, yeah, it's a good town.
This is off topic, but the spam email thing came from the idea of too much of a good thing.
Really? I did not know that.
That's what I understood from way back, that it got its name spam because that's what spam kind of is. It's good, but you can't eat too much of it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it is. I will not lie though. Spam with breakfast. I mean, if you're doing like scrambled eggs and toast and you do some spam on the side, that is a good breakfast. It's awesome.
Sure. So I think somehow we're going to weave music into this play that you're going to produce in some underwater extravaganza.
Yeah, for sure. Someday, but not right now. Kind of focusing on other projects right now.
So now you're calling this motion capture rather than motion pictures.
Yeah, so motion capture is basically the process. There's different types of captures within the virtual production volumes. Motion capture is about capturing a subject's whole body, whether it be fingers, movements, legs, arms, everything. So say, for example, when you watch the Avatar movies, they're using motion capture technology to track for all of the animations to make them all real life and realistic. How this works is that inside these mocap studios, they have all of these giant, I'm trying to think of how to say it, kind of like a giant square area called the volume. And in these volumes, they have all these different cameras around them. There can be up to 30 to 40. I've seen some that are sometimes almost 100 cameras. Never seen it, but I've read it. But how these camera works is that they are connected all together towards this one point, and they record at such a high frame rate that they record the body moving with the markers on the body for reflections. And it's infrared technology. And it's just awesome. I mean, and I was really ecstatic about it. And I said, that's what I want to do. I don't want to be an artist. I want to be a technician. I love fiddling with tech. And I said, that's what I need to do. So yeah, motion capture is definitely where it is. But then when you get into, when I said Avatar, they aren't just doing just motion capture. They're doing performance capture. The performance capture is going to be motion capture and your fingers and your face, and then also your audio. So that's how they make the animations look so realistic.
So when someone's talking or smiling or blinking and stuff.
Yeah, it's all being tracked, and your voice is being recorded as well to make it as authentic as you can. So it's kind of a cool thing. I mean, when I did my job shadow over at Lansing, Michigan at Haptics, I did that 2 years ago. That was so fun. I learned from such a great team of Haptics. Haptics Studio, if you're watching this, you guys are awesome. I wouldn't be here without you. You are awesome. I miss you guys. Hope you're well. The stories that I had there were great. I mean, I had some great memories. And it's just the amount of stuff that the technology is able to do now. I mean, they're not just using it in games and animation. They're using motion capture technology for sports. They're using it for therapeutics. I mean, it is incredible. And even you see videos of people capturing dogs and horses. I mean, for one of the Call of Duty games years ago, they actually did motion capture for a horse, which was just like, holy crap, that is actually really cool. I would love to do that, put markers on a horse, and then just have it run around in a horse stall of volume where they're just running and capturing the data, making the horse.
Well, there you go. You got to do something on a dolphin.
Yeah, that would be fun. I think it's definitely down the line.
So I got to ask, do you know anything about the bitmap projection?
I do. I remember you telling me a little bit about it, about how it's kind of about projecting data to an LED screen so that it makes
it very precise.
Yes.
So they can draw a line. They can zoom right in on it, and like a wall and a floor, they can get it right on the edge of it. And
yeah,
there was a friend of mine that was working on a project with Target Corporation where they're going to project stuff onto things on shelves.
Yeah.
So the product will actually talk to you.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
Well, that's the kind of thing that you might have to do the recording or capture that.
Yeah.
Capture of that to then be projected on that item.
Well, and that's another area that does interest me is photogrammetry, which is basically where you're scanning objects in real time with cameras and various types of distances and equipment. And basically the point is to make the scan, you can take a bunch of pictures around an object, as many angles as you can, and then use different softwares to actually put all those images together and create 3D objects in real time. I've actually seen it used for underwater archaeology as well. They've used it for shipwrecks. I mean, if you look up Becky Kagan Scott, she's an underwater photographer. She's done some of that stuff. There's some other guys I know that have done it too. But the fact that they're able to take all these pictures of underwater dive sites and actually put it together into an image and make a 3D model of this shipwreck, it is incredible. And it's not just, as I said before, the technology isn't just for games and animation anymore. It's spreading to everything. It's just kind of
do something like using the bitmap projection and then the capture stuff, like projecting on a whale, so you could go down and.
I do not know. I mean, I do not know.
Maybe we created something here.
Maybe, you never know. I mean, it could be. I'm not going to say if I don't know what it is. So, I mean, I'm not going to say if I don't know how to do it. So I don't know, but I would think down the line, I would think so with how fast technology is evolving. It's insane.
So do you have any concern about the AI thing coming in and taking your job away or anything like that?
AI, I'm kind of 50-50 on. Reason being is I went to school for computer science. I actually didn't go depth in AI, but I mean, learning basic programming and the foundations of computer science, you kind of learn how AI works. AI is basically, it needs data to give you what you want. And if the data isn't that great, it ain't going to give you good results. I mean, there's been times I've Google searched various, I mean, I actually watched Band of Brothers. I'm watching Band of Brothers right now, which is an amazing show. Fantastic. Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks did a great job. And I remember watching the 6th episode where they're out in the winter forest and they're talking about the Battle of the Bulge. The Battle of the Bulge is kind of in the 6th episode, but it's really not until you get into the 7th episode where you start getting into the Battle of the Bulge and just the cold weather and everything and the effects on the soldiers. But AI was like, oh yeah, this is episode 6 is kind of the one that really goes into that. And it's like, no, it's kind of more episode 7. I mean, you kind of talk about the basics of the Battle of the Bulge and kind of the foundation, but you're kind of going into more detail and more about the Battle of the Bulge at the battle site itself in episode 7. So, I mean, AI, it is convenient. I'm not really scared of it. I do think in today's world, we need to adapt to it because I really do not think it's going away.
Well, I think the thing about the artistic element of things, you need the human artistic part, because to me, the AI is really digital. It doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, that's the thing too, is even in terms of motion and performance capture technology using AI, I've used a little bit of the motion capture AI. It's fine, but I mean, the most accurate data you can get, I really would prefer an optical system. I love working with optical systems more. And especially once you're getting into performance capture where you're capturing faces and voices and fingers, you're going to want the best results possible. So I'm not really scared of AI taking anything yet, but I do think what's going to happen is AI is going to be used in conjunction with some of this. I've seen it kind of used as a previs tool, not a full-blown end result, but it kind of makes things simpler. And that's where I'm not against AI being used, is it's kind of an assistant. It's kind of there to help you, but not there to fully replace you.
It's
So
a
I think,
tool. It's just real similar to when everybody's all concerned about the digital cameras replacing the film.
yeah, oh
I'm
yeah. I
not going
mean,
to be using those digital cameras. I'm sticking with the film. And
yeah,
that's
for sure. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I did learn how to use a film camera in high school for photography. I haven't used one in years, but I mean, I use a mirrorless camera right now. It's a Canon R8. I'm just kind of looking to the side where it is, and it is. I mean, digital's great, but I think learning more than one technology is important in today's world, whether it be for a career or anything you want to do. You kind of got to adapt. And I think that's what thing with AI is, you kind of shouldn't be scared of it. I think you should start learning it and just kind of saying, okay, all of these different workflows that I'm doing, or even just repetitive tasks, how can AI kind of save time for me where I can kind of put all of my energy into something that I need to get done. I want to put a lot of human artistic flair into, where AI can kind of speed up the repetitive setups for projects. I mean, for example, with one thing that I've done is I've written various Python scripts for when I work in my softwares and stuff. And I look at it with Python, that's kind of the same thing. It's given data. It's a basic. It doesn't ask their questions. You don't ask it anything, but you run that script. It does what you tell it to do. And it's just that kind of that automation side of it. And I think that's where you shouldn't be afraid of it. I think if you can speed up some of that repetitive stuff with it, that's what you should be using with AI for. But yeah, I think it's an interesting technology. I mean, I remember a while back saying that AI was being used to detect brain tumors, I think I saw, and I was just like, holy, like it's more accurate than humans. I'm like, I'm not against it being used in that capacity either. I mean, if it can enhance medical scanning technology, I mean, I know people who've had cancer. My mentor, Mark Duggar, who owned Midwest School of Diving, where I worked at, he died of pancreatic cancer over a year ago. And I mean, if we can use that technology to kind of scan people's bodies and enhance the medical side of things, yes, absolutely. It'll save lives.
It's just a tool, really, just like anything else.
It's a tool. It's not a full-blown person. You're still going to need people, but I think it could make you into a superhuman if you use it correctly.
It could. And as long as it's being used for good.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly.
So I was looking at some of your stuff, and you talked about you just getting going. You don't really have a specific web domain right now yet, do you?
I do, actually. I just got my web domain. It's SCUBAQMultimedia.com. It is now a full-blown website. It's not really a full-blown business. It's just kind of a name for my portfolio and just for a way to people to know who I am. I mean, I do a lot of freelance work. I really haven't gotten a lot of freelance work. I've edited one podcast for Marin Investment Partners, their Future of Equity, private equity podcast. I do that, but that's freelance and it's not very much. But yeah, it's definitely I've got my website going now and it looks a lot nicer, and I'm so glad that I did it, and I added a little icon on my tab for my website. It has the little Q in my logo, so when people look at it.
SCUBA Q Multimedia.com?
Yep, SCUBAQMultimedia.com.
Well, let me throw this thing up here. See if this works. Is that correct?
Yep, that's it. That is me. That's SCUBAQMultimedia.com. And then I've got some of my photography and events that I've done over the years, and scuba diving stuff, motion capture, performance capture projects I've done. Yeah, and I actually was wondering if I could show a little project that I'm working on right now, if that's all right.
If you can do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So right now I'm actually in the process of building a facial capture system for fun to fiddle with. How these work is I actually bought on Amazon a airsoft war helmet, like a military helmet, and then it's got a strap on the bottom, and it has this little mount on the top for GoPros. So what I've done is I'm actually creating this right here, which is this mount is going to go for an iPhone, and then it can also use GoPros as well. And this mount right here actually connects to the helmet. So right here, it'll be on my face, and I can track my facial captures through a GoPro and also through an iPhone. And actually, Unreal Engine right now has a tool called Live Link where you can actually stream motion performances facial performances straight into Unreal Engine in real time. And I'm going to be fiddling with that here pretty soon. I got the helmet coming tomorrow, and I'm so excited to fiddle with it. I mean, it's kind of that giddy, you're a kid on Christmas morning, you're like, oh, let's fiddle with this. Let's see what it does. And it's just, yeah, I mean, it's the great thing is about technology these days with all of this technology, whether it's Unreal Engine or any of this motion capture AI stuff, it's becoming more accessible to people that don't have the budgets right now or the area to do these projects, and they can kind of fiddle and make cool things and learn it as well. You don't have to be locked behind it and say, well, you can only learn the OptiTrack. And it's like, well, you can learn OptiTrack and Vicon or any of them and just kind of take what you learned from one system to the next. You learn the basics, and I'll say I applied it to this other system or technology. It's just amazing.
Yeah, I've been self-employed pretty much all my life, other than a job for the county park system out of high school, and then I've been self-employed. But it's a lot different now that basically anybody that's got one of these things, a phone, they can go out and get things done. It's so easy to do that. So as far as someone looking for a job or even going to college to get a job, maybe just get creative and think, how can I take my passion? Because, like, are you familiar with the affiliate model?
I am not, no.
Basically, all it is it's a tracking link between a product and a prospect.
Okay.
So if you wanted to put onto your website some affiliate links, you can start selling tanks and gauges and fins and masks and snorkel equipment and vacations to what is that? What's that place? Roatan.
Yeah, Roatan is nice. That's a pretty. I've never been diving in it, but I've talked to people who've done it. There's actually a guy I know, his name's Steve Philbrook. He's a professional underwater photographer. He runs a shop called Aquaventure up in Maple Grove, and he has done underwater photography for history. He's done some the History Channel, various things. He's a great guy, and he showed me some of the pictures he took in Roatan, Cozumel, and it's just down the line. I just want to go down. I think at the end of the year, my goal is someday to go do a diving trip and just go another country and dive. And I'm like, I'm just going to be happy. Let's do this.
That's kind of what I was getting at, is if you're passionate about stuff, you can start creating a website and create content, and people start seeing it. And then if they decide they want to go to Cozumel, they might click on your
I mean,
Travelocity link or whatever, and you get commissions from it.
For sure. I mean, not going to lie, I'm definitely more interested in the, my areas. Scuba diving is just kind of who I am. And the reason I did the SCUBA Q Multimedia thing was I look at it, I'm a firm believer in kind of making yourself stand out in today's world. And all the people that I've met over the world, I mean, whether it be in virtual production, motion capture, anything, they're like, wait, you scuba dive, right? And I said, yeah, I do. And they're like, oh, yeah, you're like a big diver. And I'm like, yeah. And I said, okay, if I have that background in my back pocket, let me take that and combine it into making who I am, but not just for scuba diving, but for my freelance work, for my skills and techniques. People know that name, like, oh yeah, Quincy Muzik, SCUBA Q. And I'm like, yeah, that's me. Like they know it's kind of that marketing thing. They know who I am. So that's why I did it. Yeah, for sure.
Well, this is wonderful. We've gone for 22 minutes so far, 23 minutes.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Time goes by when you're having fun.
It does. So is there anything you want to share? I mean, you showed your new invention that you're coming up with. Any other projects you're working on? And I'll throw your website up here so they can find you.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, that's me. The amount of people that call me that now is insane. I mean, not a lot of people, but I mean, when I was at my internship at ABVR, whenever Tom, the guy I worked with, Tom was my favorite. He was a character. He'd be like, SCUBA Q. I'm like, yeah, Tom, what's up? Or heck, when I met Stephanie Panicello and Nick Apostolidis, who are the voices of Claire and Leon in the Resident Evil 2 remake a couple of years ago, I was walking around the convention they were at. And I met them before. I went and met them like right when they started signing stuff. And then when I walked by their table, because I was checking all the events, Nick or Stephanie would shout, SCUBA Q. I'm like, yeah, what's up? Hi. And then I just keep walking. And it's definitely a thing. I mean, yeah, this invention that I have, it's already been out there. It's just the DUI kind of fiddling it with yourself. And I've had people teach me how to do it in the industry. And as I said before, Brad, I'm one of those people that I don't like taking full credit of something that I haven't done on my own. I'm a firm believer that, you should be thankful and say, hey, I wouldn't be here without these people. These people kind of push me in the right direction. And if anyone in this industry I've met are watching this, I do appreciate everything that you've done. I wouldn't be where I'm at right now, and you guys are awesome. So, I mean, I guess for another project that I'm working on is, I think that's mainly the one. I'm just kind of trying to figure that out right now with the virtual production, not the virtual production, the facial capture unit. I'm trying to get it working and ready to go. Hopefully going to make some stuff here soon. And then I really want to get my, once I get some of that facial capture stuff done, I'm probably going to start creating a demo reel of it, of everything that I've done, just to kind of show like how I did it. And so people can say, hey, this is what he's been doing, fiddling with his free time. So that's kind of what I've been doing, just kind of figuring out.
Busy.
Yeah, I'm one of those people that likes to stay busy wherever I can.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to be on the show here. So I'm going to put you into the green room, and we've changed all the digital hors d'oeuvres out. So feel free to help yourself with some lunch.
All right. Well, sounds good. Well, Brad, thank you so much for having me on the podcast. It was a lot of fun.
If you want to stick around, I'll have a little chat with you after the show.
That is totally fine. I would love that.
Thank you, buddy. Peace.
Yeah, bye-bye. Peace.
Well, that was a lot of fun. I don't know, SCUBA Q. It sounds like a brand to me. And this is what it's all about. Underwater and on land photographer, videographer, making things happen. I love seeing the energy in the younger generation, because when you get old like me, you run out of steam. So speaking of running out of steam, I'm going to sign this one off. Thanks for being here on Synergy Cafe, and tune back in. This will be on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Enjoy the rest of the day. Be good, be kind, be nice. Did I say be nice? Yes, be nice. Peace.